St. John's, I have for you a preview of what to expect for our services beginning on May 31st. Here I am outside the beautiful structure that is our sanctuary, St. John's Lutheran Church. A wonderful place to be, and certainly looking forward to gathering together with you again as you are comfortable. Again, this is limited to those who have reserved a place, and we are looking to keep it under 50 people at a time. And I want to show you now what the plans are. Obviously, the email went out and the letter went out that hopefully gives information, but sometimes it's helpful to see it as well. So we're asking, first of all, that you not enter the building until you see that the door is open and that an elder is near that door and indicating come on in. Also, please come in only in groups with which you've traveled or as an individual. Try to keep 6 feet away from anyone that you did not travel here with. The door will be propped open so that you won't need to touch it, although you should note we will be locking the doors shortly after the service starts, and it is important that you arrive on time. Punctuality is key, as they say, so please be sure to be here in time for the service that you registered for. Obviously, they're guiding us and encouraging us not to use railings, but of course, there are people that need it or just instinctively do it. So try to limit the touching of anything, including these wonderful new ornamental spindles that we have. When I first arrived here at St. John's, there was a ball, just a little wooden ball on this one, and on that one, it was missing. Or maybe it was the other way around. Either way, we had them, all these railings restained before the restrictions came down, and Rod Adele found these nice little pieces. But they're nice, but don't touch them. Apparently, I just did it about 3 times without thinking about it. So it's a clear temptation. With that, our doors will be open, as you see. And we're asking everyone to come in through these 2 main doors. And here you will recognize that we have hand sanitizer. It's easiest if you bring your own, but we can't expect everyone to do that. So we will have hand sanitizer. And this is also the table where the bulletins will be that you can pick up. You maybe already noticed the hymnals are all gone. So we won't be using hymnals, and we will follow the order that is printed, and that was emailed out to you already, so you can take a look at it if you want. The services are expected to run about 30 to 40 minutes. They will include a celebration of the Lord's Supper, so keep that in mind, and we'll talk about that as we get to it later on in this video. But the key for now is please be on time and please keep your distance from those who are not in your traveling group. Also, of course, we ask that you recognize that if you haven't reserved a spot for a service, that you not plan on attending that service. Okay, so as I said, the doors will be locked and we will be all ready to go, and we're going to lock them shortly after the service time because, again, time is of the essence here. That means Rod Dargy is not allowed to be ringing the bells for his 2 minutes or however long he's been doing. Having a good time with you, Rod, but we won't ring the bells for very long, and after the bells ring, you can expect that the doors will be locked shortly after. On a side note, the Wednesday evening services will begin on June 17th. We will hold the first one at 6, and on that night, we will offer 2 services that you can register for. Again, just like with these 4, we're trying to get an idea of how many people are comfortable coming out to a public worship service. So June 17th is the day for the Wednesday services. All right, if you are, after you've come in and seen that the door is open and you're all ready to go, we ask again that you would sanitize your hands, pick up what you need for the service, and then find a place in the pews. We have every other pew, where is that in the frame? We have every other pew taped off. Right, there it is. And this is not like the finish line of a marathon for those marathon runners. You don't want to break through this thing. We're asking everyone to, of course, stay out of the pews that are blocked off. Sadly, I tried to block off all the ones that have a column, but I didn't get here in time, back when they built the sanctuary, to prepare for May 31st, 2020. So this is the one pew that does have a column in it, and that's just the way of things, I suppose. So the other columned pews are roped off, but we're asking that if there's a ribbon or the yellow tape that you not cross it. And also, we are able to seat an average with 50 people. we're able to seat an average of 3.5 per pew. So of course, some pews will have more with families or traveling groups of more than 3, and that is fine. Others will have less. If you find yourself in a pew on your own, please just pick one end or the other. That way another individual or small group could find their way into that pew. So keep that in mind. So as we go forward, the service will be following what is printed, and that's a one-time use bulletin, so just go ahead and take it, and then take it home with you when you're finished, because we will print enough for everyone who is attending the services that day. During the service, if you attended on Wednesday nights, you'll remember we don't take an offering. Instead, what we're asking is that anyone who's coming and giving their tithes or offerings on this part of the sanctuary, if you enter, make use of either of these offering deposit boxes. And if you come in through that stained glass door window dedicated to Pastor Schaefer, if you're entering the building through the handicap entrance, you can use the one that's on the wall. And those of you who were bringing your offerings and attending those private communion services know where that is too. So our frame of reference, there's that beautiful quilt, and here's our offering drop box if you're coming into the building through there. So no offering is going to be collected during the service itself. This is a tough one to get used to, although you might have been in the group that attended the Thursday night service when my hand hurt. Like I had this weird thing with my hand. So I didn't shake anybody's hands, and that took some getting used to. We're going to have to get used to that again, at least for a time. I don't intend to be shaking hands with people, neither does Pastor Felcher, but we'll be there at the doors at the end of the services, at least to say hi, but neither of us will be greeting people in the pews, as is our usual custom. Other than that, the last key here is that you wait to be dismissed by the elders. And what they're going to do, they're going to start in the back, and they're going to dismiss people pew by pew. So please just wait until the elder is indicating that it's time for you to make your exit. And they are going to, after you leave, they're going to just do some sanitization, and we'll have the building nice and clean and ready to go for the next group. So for all of this to work, we need people arriving on time. And we need also to just everyone recognize what the plan is and keep your distance from those that you did not travel here with. When it comes to communion, you will be ushered forward. And what we have here, let's get this nice and there it is. All right. We've got these 2 little tables here on your way up to the stairs. If you would like, you can make use of the hand sanitizer. Again, if you didn't bring your own, you can make use of it here on your way up. And we are not going to close the communion rail here. That way we can keep a distance between the 2 tables. And maybe you're familiar with this, but the language and the phrasing that we use for any group that comes up to receive the Lord's Supper is called a table. So we will have 2 separate tables here, and we're not going to close the gate. So what we'll have here, and we're also asking that no one kneel. Simply stand in your place, and we're only communing traveling groups, family groups, and individuals. So if you arrive with 5 people, those are the 5 people you will go up to receive the Lord's Supper with. And again, you'll be standing in your place at the rail. If you arrive alone, then you will have your own table, or perhaps one other individual on the far side of where you're standing. We could definitely get 2 different individuals here, and they would not be within 6 feet of each other. For the distribution itself, as you probably saw in the letter, my plan is to make use of a mask. Thank you to Kathleen Enstrom. She made it without even a request. She made a very nice mask, both for Pastor Felcher and for me. So during the consecration of the elements, as I speak the words of institution, and then also the distribution, I will be wearing a mask, and we'll commune individuals and traveling groups one at a time, and no one is kneeling. And then also I have hand sanitizer here for after each table I commune. And there is also, I have isopropyl alcohol that I will rub the chalice with. I have 2 different chalices that I'll be able to switch out, and I'll be able to sanitize the chalice for those who choose to use it. I will do that after each table. So I believe we've given all that we need. I want to give just one more view of what to expect as we're coming here. A few things are a little out of place. The hymnals are all gone. There is tape on some of the pews. And like I said, we can average 3.5 people per pew. So I believe we will be just fine with 50. And sit with those you traveled with, and plan on joining us as you are comfortable. We will sing, I believe it's 3 parts of the liturgy and 1 hymn. Tomorrow, or this coming Sunday, is Pentecost. So that is the 3rd of the 3 major festivals of our Christian church year, where we remember the coming of the Holy Spirit and the promise that God's gift of faith, that Christ's sacrifice on the cross is for all people of all nations. And so we will recognize that and hear a little bit about that in the sermon. With that, if you have questions, please don't hesitate to contact me. You can email me or call the church office, and I'll be happy to answer those questions. And again, for those of you who are not comfortable coming to a public worship service, that is perfectly fine, and that you can be at peace knowing that God's word is continuing to go out through this YouTube channel every day. We plan to continue offering those videos, the daily devotion videos, except for when I'm on vacation, but I'll announce that beforehand. Also, we will continue to record the sermons and 1 hymn for the coming Sundays, which will be available at 6:30 in the morning every Sunday. And the private communion services will also continue by request. I believe we will open that up probably sometime today for Monday and Tuesday. Monday from 1 to 3 p.m. For those who sign up, and Tuesday from 5:30 to 7 p.m. for those who sign up. We're not sure how many will still be using that, but we want it to be available to those who are not comfortable coming into a public worship service. So as I said, please follow these instructions and share this video with anyone that you've talked to that isn't quite sure what to expect, and we will go forward in the name of the Lord, receiving his good gifts of word and sacrament. God's blessings to you all.